Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of Mercedes-Benz, Ola Kalenius.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends of Mercedes-AMG, good evening and welcome to Los Angeles. Few places in the world are as instantly recognizable as this city. Los Angeles is where pop culture is made, where movies, music, and icons are born and remembered. People come here for the Santa Monica Pier, for Hollywood Hills, and apparently, I read this, for ridiculously expensive strawberries and smoothies. But beyond the glamour, this is also one of the great car cities of the world. Just a few miles north of here, the first freeway in the United States was built. It connects Los Angeles and Pasadena. Los Angeles is where you take your car up Mulholland Drive, where Sunset Boulevard lives up to its name, and where the Pacific Coast Highway makes you question whether you're driving or dreaming. The same thing can happen when you're stuck in LA traffic, although that's a very different kind of dream. In Germany, we know a thing or two about traffic jams as well, but what makes up for hours of what we call Stau is our legendary Autobahn. For anyone who hasn't experienced it yet, on the German Autobahn, you can drive flat out for really long stretches. With the right car, of course. And yep, it's true. On these sections, there is no mandatory speed limit. You don't have that here in LA, do you? Well, good thing we brought a German Autobahn with us. And you're standing right on it in the middle of Los Angeles. I have to say, I've revealed quite a few new models during my time at Mercedes, but never in the middle of a freaking Autobahn. That's a first. And truth be told, when the team first pitched this idea, I thought this is next level madness. But then again, it's the world premiere of an AMG. An AMG has never been about doing what's expected. It's always been about being bold and pushing limits. Sometimes a little further than seems reasonable. And I had the privilege of leading this brand a few years ago. And once AMG gets under your skin, it never really leaves you. Judging by the numbers, AMG also resonates here in the US. In 2025, more than every third Mercedes-AMG went to customers in the United States. AMG also plays a key role in our overall Mercedes-Benz strategy. As part of our top-end vehicle portfolio, it's essential to who we are and where we're going. And from an engineering perspective, it doesn't really get any better than Mercedes-AMG, period. These are not just empty words. We have many AMG models and concept cars to prove this. Last year, for example, our concept AMG GT XX broke 25 long-distance records on a journey around the world in less than 8 days. It was a technological milestone, and above all, the most incredible team effort. That concept car showed what our engineers are capable of when you remove every constraint. And tonight, its series production offspring takes that mindset and the incredible technology to the streets. The AMG GT four-door coupe is an extraordinary piece of engineering, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about fast cars and about the thrill of driving. I have tested it thoroughly, so trust me when I say this. We didn't just meet the bar, we raised it. We have redefined performance, now also on the electric side of things. Tonight, on a road without limits, we're introducing a car without limits. And I know the guy who made sure the entire AMG team went beyond what everyone thought possible. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the AMG boss, Michael Schiebe.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. Ola already said it, LA has an incredible car culture. It has some truly legendary roads, and now it even has the Autobahn, at least for tonight. But let's be honest, a great road is only half the story. To really enjoy a drive, you need the right car. A car that makes you smile when you see it, a car that gives you goosebumps when you turn it on, a car that makes your heart beat faster when you drive it. And do we have the right car for you tonight? When we started developing it, we had an amazing opportunity. A blank sheet of paper. That almost never happens. Most engineering journeys start with the previous product. A company might want to improve a few aspects or introduce small changes. Not in this case. We started from scratch. And from day one, everything had to serve two things: incredible performance and maximum thrill. In other words, we made sure it's a true AMG. And at the heart of every true AMG is the drivetrain. That has always been the case. But this time, I'll be honest, we went a little crazy. Because this time, we are bringing a real game changer, a true revolution, a technology that is so far ahead, it opens a completely new chapter. What am I talking about? I'm talking about axial-flux motors. Yes, I know, it sounds like something from a Hollywood sci-fi movie. And that's actually quite fitting, because it truly feels like taking us to the future. These motors are mind-blowing. They are compact, they are light, and their power is just unbelievable. Their power density is around 3 times higher than conventional EV motors. Torque density, twice as high. Lots of power, lots of torque. It is like an electric V8. And we are the first to bring this incredible machines to a serious production EV. And the car we are talking about to show you packs 3 of them. 2 at the rear, 1 at the front. Together, they provide 860 kilowatts. That's 1,153 brake horsepower. 0 to 60, 2.1 seconds. So yeah, it's rocket science for an absolute rocket ship. But that's not all. Many cars are quick off the line. This car offers sustained performance, repeatable, relentless. A few weeks ago, 2 runners managed to break the 2-hour barrier for marathons, a fantastic achievement. And when I read about it, I immediately thought of this car, because it does something similar. It doesn't just sprint, it sprints the whole marathon. But what is the key to that stamina? Liquid-cooled batteries with Formula One technology. They make sure the battery keeps cool during hot laps, but they don't just deliver on the road. They also deliver at the charger. The new GT 4-door coupe offers charging speeds of 600 kilowatts. That means you can add 500 kilometers of WLTP range in just over 10 minutes. Now, you might say, Michael, haven't we seen this before? Yes, you have. Ola mentioned earlier the AMG GT XX, the concept car that shattered 25 long-distance records and drove 25,000 miles in 7.5 days at 186 miles per hour, stopping only to charge or swap drivers. That very same technology is now coming to a serious car. So you might say it is Nardo tested and Autobahn approved. But I promised you more than performance. I promised you thrill. Because a great car is not just about miles per hour. it is about heartbeats per minute. And reality is, EVs can have a little bit of a reputation. For people who really love driving, they can feel a little too quiet or a little too rational. Well, you get the idea. But not this car tonight. Comparing a regular EV to the new AMG GT 4-door coupe is like comparing a string quartet to a punk rock band. So it is Bach versus Blink. And at AMG, we like powerful cars and power chords. So we wanted this car to put the same smile on your face as our V8s. Not because we are trying to copy the past, but because we know what makes driving addictive. The drama, the response, the connection. So we decided to give you that very same sensation. A drive mode that makes you smile, that makes you feel exactly like you drive a V8. The sound, the gear shifts, the vibrations, the emotions, it's all there. Ola mentioned earlier that he personally tested that car. And I hope he doesn't mind if I share a little bit what he said when he first got out. He said, "This is the best V8 we have ever built." Okay, Ola might be a little bit biased here. That's why we asked many more people, customers, dealers, journalists, enthusiasts. And the feedback kept coming back the same. And to us, it was the biggest praise of all, because they told us that we had built a true AMG. A little crazy, maybe, but definitely a whole lot of fun. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for yourself to judge about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome here on stage the all-new Mercedes-AMG GT 4-door coupe.
With almost no limits.
That's what I call rush hour, folks.
Deserves a road with almost no limits. Welcome to the Autobahn.
Pitt, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was.
I mean, we are in LA. But let's talk about these cars. And we also have George Russell with us. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for George Russell! Now, George, you just experienced something that I bet a lot of people here would love to try themselves. So come on, tell us, how was it?
Yeah, firstly, I think that was Brad Pitt, so I think that was pretty cool that he was here. But yeah, good evening, everyone. It's really cool to be here in LA, obviously showcasing these two incredible cars. So this is probably the fastest car I've ever driven in my life, and it doesn't go lightly, and you guys really need to experience it. So I just can't wait for people to give it a go, pedal to the metal, and feel the speed.
Michael, that sounds like the ultimate compliment, especially as it's coming from one of the best drivers in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, did you see his smile when he got out of the car? That pretty much, I think, said it all. And we are seeing that same smile virtually on everyone who has been able to experience it. And I think that's so important because this is ultimately what a sports car is about. Yeah. So it is the excitement, is everything that you should experience when you drive a sports car. It makes you feel alive, it makes you feel younger, and of course, I think it makes you go, what's my age again?
Now, this might come as a surprise to you, and if you believe in stereotypes, Germans aren't exactly renowned for their fun, and I can say that, I'm a Brit. So how does a bunch of engineers in Germany manage to build such an exciting, fun car?
As you can imagine, we take fun very seriously. So when we talk about it, of course, and design and develop such a new car, it's always looking into the details. Of course, there are a few big boxes that you have to tick, power, acceleration, the handling, the driving dynamics, but it's also the small things. So it's your seating position, is the way how your controls are centered around you. So this is really important. And we made sure that everything perfect fits in that car. So the way the brake pedal feels, and we know that, of course, plays a truly important role. So we took everything about fun, put it in that car, and made sure it is a new game changer in the performance segment. And the team has done, I would say, a perfect job. And so I would say when we speak to the enthusiasts about this car, the feedback is coming back all the same. So I would say it's the perfect, let's say, feedback that we received when the people say, this is an EV for petrol heads.
I mean, that sounds interesting. Now, I know for a fact that you, George, have driven this car many times on a number of different roads and tracks. How did it feel? How did it handle?
I was shocked, to be honest, because obviously I think a number of people have driven, or loads of people have driven electric cars before. And I think, like Michael said, you're sort of missing those emotions that you get from the V8s and the cars with incredible sound behind them. And when I drove this car for the first time, it really felt like I was driving a V8, and it just flew off the line. I think I don't know if I can quote how much horsepower it's got, but it's well over 1,000 horsepower. And it's just really difficult to put into words. So I don't even put this kind of in the category of an EV. It just feels totally different, on a totally different stratosphere to anything I've driven in a road car before. So as I said, until you've tried it yourself, it's really difficult to put into words, but this is definitely the real thing.
Big words there. Michael, listening to George describe what this car can do, I have to ask, how did you actually pull this off? I mean, because for a company with 60 years of V8 heritage, moving to electric, that must have been incredibly challenging in so many ways.
I would say it was a bit of a roller coaster, right? Why that? Yeah, because you have, if you try to be that innovative, there are a lot of challenges. But I think actually our proud V8 legacy was actually a huge advantage for us. It meant our team was always pushing it a bit harder because we constantly compared this car to our V8s. We had a very clear reference point, and I knew that this car could simply be as good. So this is something we knew. It could not only be as good as our V8 cars, actually it had to be better. And the team really delivered. So this is the moment where I also want to take a minute to say thank you to the entire team. Because at the moment, you have to know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning in Germany, and there is the whole team sitting at the moment and watching right now what we are doing here. So thank you very much for everything that you have done. You have built an absolute epic machine, and I feel incredibly proud and honored to present the result of all your hard work. Thank you very much.
Big round of applause there. George, you are not only part of the AMG family, but you actually played a role in the development of this car. For example, you took part in the impressive record drive in Nardo. That was a long drive, right? How was that?
Yeah, it was a pretty long drive. So it was actually a lap of the world that we did over the course of 8 days, flat out at 300 kilometers an hour. So I think that's about 180 miles an hour for 8 days straight. And this thing felt like it was driving about 60 miles an hour. It was so smooth, it was so controlled, and it just sort of shows how the technology is moving forward. 4 EVs to have the speed, the durability, and as I said, that was a really proud moment to be part of that journey. And already earlier today, we were flying up and down this bridge doing about 160 miles an hour, I think we were doing on this bridge. So I saw there was a sign, 35 mile an hour speed limit, which I think we slightly broke. But it's, yeah, it's really, really epic and really proud to have been part of this journey.
To it.
Thank you so
That
much.
means a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. So what are we doing now? Because I can tell you, looking just at his face right now, what do you have in mind? I think if I see how you're smiling, of course, you can take a last ride. So take it for a ride, but then you have to really give it back.
All right.
Thank you for joining us here tonight, and enjoy the drive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, George.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Michael, look at these cars. I mean, they look so good. This setting, unbelievable. Listen to the sound of it,
Yeah,
the goosebumps.
yeah. And the sound is not just great from the outside, you really have to experience it from the inside. Unfortunately, today and tonight, we won't be able to give everyone in the audience the chance to take a ride, but I encourage you to test drive it once you get the chance to drive the beast. I think, and I'm pretty sure it will leave you speechless, and I think speechless is a good transition,
Michael.
because we have had enough speeches tonight. So I think it's time for less talk and more rock.
Michael, I think we better leave the Autobahn, right? Let's go.